Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much for inviting me here. I'm very delighted to celebrate the 30th anniversary of the children's rights today with you all. Do you think I need the microphone? Yes. Okay. Because you see, when I started my career, I used to work as a teacher in upper comprehensive school, and I'm quite competent in speaking louder than my audience. But if you think you will be a hardbone, then I will use it. Okay, my name is Anu-Marit Boilanen. I am happy to be here. I'm not alone. I have one of my colleagues, Victoria Nylund, sitting over there. She's one of our 19 regional coordinators, and I work as a project manager in Art Testers. Before I go on, I would like to know how many of you are acquainted with the campaign Art Testers? Okay, what a wonderful audience you are. I have an excellent chance to make you all supporters of the Art Testers campaign. We are heading to have the second round in our campaign, so here we go. We shall start today with a short video. Taidetestajat on tasa-arvoinen toimintamalli, joka tarjoaa kaikille 60 000 kahdeksasluokkalaiselle 2 räätälöityä taidevierailua vuosittain.
Mun oma taidekokemus oli mun mielestä tosi hieno. Tämän hankkeen ulkopuolella niin me ei ole käyty oikeastaan missään.
Se on mahdollistanut taide-elämyksen ja kokemuksen lapselle ja nuorelle siitä riippumatta, millä paikkakunnalla hän asuu ja elää.
Taide on mun mielestä ihan keskeinen osa meidän sivistystä. Sitä pitää vaalia ja sitä pitää ylläpitää, mutta se ei tule ilmaiseksi.
Ihmiskunnan evoluution aikana ei löydy sellaista esimerkkiä, että johonkin aikaan jossain maassa olisi kansa, jolla on kukoistava kulttuurielämä, mutta sitten sille vedisi niinku samaan aikaan helvetin huonosti. Vaan nämä 2 asiaa kulkee aina käsi kädessä.
Luovuus, tunteet, empaattisuus ovat ominaisuuksia, jotka tekevät meistä ihmisistä ylivertaisia koneisiin ja tekoälyn nähden.
Empaattisuus on ainoa keino saada aikaan keskusteleva, rakentava yhteiskunta.
Taidetestaajien tulisi olla osa suomalaista peruskoulua.
Jotta mahdollisimman moni nuori pääsee jatkossakin kokemaan tätä taidetta.
Tämä hanke on ihan aidosti ja oikeasti tarjonnut nuorille mahdollisuuden tutustua, kokea itse.
Se on hyvällä tavalla suoraan asiaan hanke, eli siis suoraan sinne esitykseen.
Loistavaa tukea koulujen kasvatustyöhön.
Jos me ei systemaattisesti mahdollisteta näitä vierailuja, moni nuori voi jäädä täysin vaille niitä huippuja, omaa identiteettiä vahvistavia kokemuksia, joita ei edes tiennyt kaipaavansa.
On tärkeää, että nuorilla lähtökohdista riippumatta on yhteinen elävä kulttuurikokemus. Murritaan muureja, avataan ovia.
Ekonomi är viktigt, men kultur är mycket viktigare. Det hjälper oss att förstå den helhet vi är en del av och att förstå innebörden med vår existens och vårt liv. Vi kan mycket bättre leva ett fullödigt liv med hjälp av insikter i kultur.
Taide ja aineet on hyvä, kuuluu kaikille. Wow, ekonomi är viktigt, men kultur är ännu viktigare. Tycker ni detsamma? Ja. Bra. My opening question, why bother, is slightly provocative. Why young people need art experiences? Our target group is from 14 to 15-year-old teenager, 8th grader. They are, a nicely way to put it, they are at their worst teenage years and slightly keen on learning new things. I'm sorry, disturbing the nap, speaking so loud. So they are not very open to new things or meeting art. So why bother? The goal of the Art Testers campaign is to provide young people with the opportunity to experience art. Also the kind of art they would not otherwise have access to. So new experiences and maybe the kind of experiences they could never even imagine. Another important goal is to provide young people the possibility to give feedback of the experience and learn more of the ability to face and understand art. Also a very important goal for us. So the campaign is about equality, accessibility, art education, art experiencing skills, learning to see the world from different perspective and also estimating one's own perspective with the help of art. And also empathy mentioned in the video, also very important skill which you can practice with the help of art. Personally, I also think that beside the massive extra input for the art education, the Art Tester campaign is also about democracy education and citizenship skills among the youth. These are also important perspectives for us. So, who are we doing this important work that we are doing? This campaign has two private funders. Our main funder is the Finnish Cultural Foundation and also the Swedish Cultural Foundation in Finland. And the budget is little over 20 million euros during the 3 academic years. I work for the Association of the Finnish Children's Cultural Centers. Sorry about the name. No one will remember it after I say it. It's really long, so I will say it again. The Finnish Children's Cultural Centers. So, we are conducting and administrating the work, and we have a nationwide network of professionals in whole Finland. And Art Testers is actually the largest youth culture campaign in the Finnish history, and the size of the campaign is really remarkable also on the European level. We have created a new concept in this campaign, and we are providing it for all 8th graders in Finland. As it was said, we started the work in 2016, but the 8th graders started their visits at 2017 in the autumn. Art Testers is a 3-year campaign, so we have just now started our final year, 2019. The campaign will end next summer. There are about 60,000 8th graders in Finland annually, and together with the young art critics, there are about 5,000 teachers traveling to art institutions. This means altogether 130,000 art visits annually. And when we look at the 3-year period, we realize that it means almost 400,000 art visits in the campaign. I have to say that at the beginning we had really a clear target in reaching all our target group, the 8th graders. But I have to say that I was maybe the only person in Finland believing we could do it. But now, since we are in the final year, I can proudly tell you that we have been able to reach all the 8th graders almost 100%. The actual percentage is about 99.7 or something like this. And for example, this school year, there are under 10 schools in Finland who didn't participate this year. The actual number is maybe something like 5, but I will give you under 10. So, the concept. The campaign offers to each 8th grader 2 tailored visits into different art institutions. The campaign covers all the costs of traveling and also the entrance tickets for the participants. It's approximately about €1,000 per pupil per year, the 2 visits in whole Finland. Each participant get 1 local visit, so the art institution is in the same area or nearby, and another visit goes to our capital area, Helsinki, to our national art institutions. And as you can imagine, Finland being so long country, so we really do the traveling part in order to get the 8th graders to our national art institutions. Everyone, even from Lapland, attends to this campaign, even though the traveling takes time. We have combined these 2 visits. So it's like in love and marriage, you cannot have one without the other. So we have decided this principle in order to secure the possibility to have both experiences. Otherwise, teachers might say that, okay, well, it's easy to go for the local visit, we take that and leave the other one out. Or we have already been to the local museum, we don't want to do it anymore, we want to go to Helsinki. So then we will come up with the principle that you can have them both, and you will have the both. The local visit, the target is to, or the goal is to strengthen, of course, the local relationships, that it's easy in the future to also go to the local art institution. And the national visit, we want to provide the right to face the art that is ours, that we all, everyone, every Finn has a right to see our national treasures. So we value these both visits. In this campaign, we really we really appreciate that everyone can attend. So that in practice, this means that we pay a lot of attention in accessibility, also equality and equity. We want to secure the possibility, regardless of the location where the 8th graders live, regardless of their financial situation at home, or regardless of their personal disabilities. So we really do goal-oriented work in order to get everyone for these visits. One of the key factors in this concept is the help that the schools and art institutions get to participate in the campaign. I have to admit, at the first year, I felt a little bit like the captain of the Titanic. It was the year when we crossed the iceberg. So when we first started the campaign, quite many schools felt that it was really impossible to go for the visit with the students. Teachers would have preferred to go there by themselves, of course, but when you had to take the kids with you, there were quite many obstacles on the way. And of course, it was a new thing for the schools, and we of course understood that quite many practical issues needed to be solved in order to help the schools to attend to the campaign. The second year was really a whole lot easier, and now it's going on like a dream. So we have really seen a beautiful development curve in the campaign, and I think that we have been able to solve very many also practical but maybe spiritual obstacles as well, because quite often it's about courage and the attitude that if you're willing to go on this art visit. As I already mentioned in the beginning, we have 19 regional coordinators working all around Finland, and their professional work has really been one of the key contributions in making these visits accessible for all. We can now see that without the help of these coordinators, this would have never happened. They are both practical and mostly practical, but also arranging the trips and helping, answering the questions from the schools, and doing really a wide range of things before these visits were possible for all. So, art institutions. We have approximately 40 to 50 art institutions involved in the Art Testers campaign each year. And for example, theatre, opera, ballet, concerts, art museums, circus are included. Only professional art institutions and also professional free art groups are involved. We have defined that we want to especially give experiences on art, not culture in its wider concept or culture history in general, but art and professional art. Art institutions are applying to the campaign each year, and they make specific proposals which are especially valued by the ways of engaging the young audience. And we would also like to see new ways of, and also innovative ways of engaging the 8th graders and providing them new ways of facing art. So it's not only a visit, but there's audience engagement included. When we first started this campaign, quite many art institutions said that, yeah, we are very acquainted with the schools and we have done it before, and we are very competent in working together with teachers and schools and children. But in Art Testers we have a little bit different audience than the regular or the audiences before. Usually, it's very common that active teachers with active pupils that are well prepared for the visits they go to visits for art institutions. But now, since we are inviting all, it means that there are also the kind of audience that doesn't want to come. they don't want to come. They think that why bother? I don't want to go. So it's a really huge challenge for these art institutions how to make an impact to this difficult new audience and somehow convince them to come back also tomorrow and in the future. So the challenge lies there. It's really easy to amuse the active teachers and the active pupils who will come anyway, but the ones who don't want to come, that's the challenge. And also new audience in a sense that they are coming with a big volume. It's quite common that there will be one class or a few classes coming to art museum or opera, and that's it. Our minimum size of the group who will come, for example, to art museum is 50 persons. So the art institutions have to be prepared to have 50 persons going around in the museum. So that has been one challenge for small art institutions. Of course, the National Opera can have a little bit more than 50 at once, but there have been quite many new challenges in facing this big volume audience. I have been very glad to see that art institutions are really interested in this young audience they have had. And they see them as customers now, but also very relevant customers in the future. So it has been really a wonderful cooperation in that sense, to see that they are very keen on learning from these 8th graders and their teachers. Every visit includes pre and after material or action. So these materials or action can be videos sent to the school before the visit, or artists visiting the schools, workshops either at the school or in the art institution, a visit in the prop in the theatre, seeing something more than a regular visitor sees, or experiencing something more. Maybe a literal package which includes tasks for different school subjects, or, for example, audience discussions after the play. We have seen various methods in audience engagement around Finland, and there has been, for example, escape room method, which was very interesting, and also the 8th graders liked it a lot. So this campaign has developed the audience engagement for the young people, targeted on the young people. Before we dig in more to the audience engagement team, I would like to introduce you one of our key elements in the art testers. At this point, you might all think that, oh, we have seen this and we have done it already. We have taken the children into museums and theatre and ballet, and we have given them audience engagement. What is there? What's the new thing in this? And maybe we have done it in a little bit less scale, but what's the trick? So here's the trick. The core idea in the art testers campaign is actually very strongly connected to the development of audience engagement. The idea is that in this model we provide the youth an opportunity to evaluate the experience. We have created a web-based evaluation tool for the 8th graders, and at the moment there are over 1,100 art critics on our web pages, so quite many have already tried it's an app. Actually a playful app where you can have easy ways in estimating and evaluating different elements in the art visit. And it shows the results on our web pages. You can go and search with a tool in our web pages and find your own class and how have your own schoolmates estimated the same experiences. And it's also a pedagogical tool for teachers. Teacher can look at after the visit that how did they feel, what did they think about and then start the discussion based on the critics. So there are, the pupils can use this app by their phones or tablets, or you can do this also by computer if you don't have phone to use. So there are kind of background questions at the beginning. How often do you do arts? And it searches few questions for you, and one of them is how are you feeling at the moment? So we are rating that did the art experience lift your feeling or did it take it downwards? So that is one question they're facing. And then here you can see the they're in Finnish, but you can have a peek at how does it look like in the app. And the children, if they are, for example, the second from the row, it says that it was kind of flurry. I didn't know what happened. So when they choose it by their finger and move it to the green table, and if you do it many times, it grows. You can leave quite many marks with different meanings that how did the art make you feel. And there are 3 different elements in this app where you can, which help you to think that how did I feel? What did I think about the art experience? What was the art like? And how would you describe the experience? So, well, here we have the words. For example, you can say that it was interesting, like 20% of all the art critics in Finland have said about art. Or you can say that it was a success, diverse, boring, ordinary. And then the art has been like skillful, confusing, weird, but also funny and brilliant. So we can see that quite many diverse feelings the art experience has arose. All the results are in our web pages, and we also ask that would you do it again? Would you go again? And this is a perfect curve. As you can see, 12% and 22% would consider going or would prefer to go again. And 34% would say that perhaps I'll give it another chance. But 19% would say that if my mother made me, I would do it if I had to really. And 11% says that no, not in a million years I wouldn't go. I think I like this curve. It gives a great promises for the future. I think that we have art consumers growing in Finland. We can, potential, yes, if we take good care of them and give them brilliant audience engagement and let them know that this is easy and this is accessible for all. And you don't have to be talented in order to understand this experience, but you can just be brave and go there. So this is the core idea, and also this is one factor which develops the audience engagement in our campaign. Art institutions are highly interested of the opinions of the 8th graders. That's the only way to learn and make the experience better. I have to say that we don't expect to get credits. I mean that they don't have to. We don't expect that everybody says that it was wonderful and outstanding. I really loved it. They can really be honest, and if they didn't like it, they can tell. But we think that if you haven't been to see a modern dance show before, you're not able to estimate the experience before you have done it at least once. So after the visit, you are able to let the whole Finland know what did you think. And I think that if 200,000 eighth graders in Finland tell that this sucks, we really need to take it seriously. I'm quite lucky that that didn't happen, but if it would, and all in all, these results are key to make it more accessible. And of course, we work very closely with the schools and teachers, and we want to know how to coordinate this cooperation better in order to help the schools attend to art institutions by themselves. And I think that we have, during these 3 years, we have gotten quite many good tips from the schools how to make this better for the second round. Besides this, feedback that art institutions get, I think that also the practical experience they have gotten from the visits have developed the practice in art institutions. And quite many art institutions have developed their way of facing, for example, the way they face the new audience in real life after the visits. So it has been in many ways this has been really a development tool for art institutions. Okay, here are a few critics from the web pages. Free translation, I might got it a little bit wrong also, but one says that fantastic, beautiful, touching, well played, unspeakable, can't find the words to describe the experience. And another one says that the beginning was dull, but the end was good. So, so it's really, yes, there are multiple comments they are about the length of one tweet. So, and you can see the stars also in the right. The first one gave 5 stars, and the other one gave where the beginning was dull, so he only gave 4. Okay, 2 cases from art testers. This was in Jyväskylä Symphony Orchestra. I have to say that this is very high professional and goal-oriented experience, and they have done a really huge work in this especially in this pre-work with schools. And it was a composing project with several schools in Jyväskylä area, and it was done by the Jyväskylä Symphony Orchestra, and they cooperated with students in teaching. So they had this guard musician who introduced the project and led the work in schools, and the 8th graders got to compose their own songs. And this project lasted quite many months, and the 8th graders had a La Folia as their inspiration for the composing project. So then they could finally end this project in the do-it-yourself concert in the Jyväskylä Symphony Orchestra, and they saw their own work played in the orchestra. So it was really a big and massive project. Quite many of our audience engagement examples are a little bit not this wide, but I wanted to show this because it had really good results. The students were really excited about doing it, and this symphony orchestra really gave their best. So it was both of them were learning a lot in this project, and there were these students from the Faculty of Education doing the schoolwork together with the card musicians. And there are several videos also from this project. I think that I will leave some time also for your questions, so let's see if we can look in the end. So, and there was also after work, and the students got to rate the others' compositions, so it was a really nice audience engagement. So, a little bit about our findings in Art Testers. I'm happy to say that the art institutions are really interested in the youth. They want to know more, they want to learn. Even our national, very professional in audience engagement, even they are really keen on knowing more and learning more. It has been wonderful to see the enthusiasm. The new audience has also challenged the art institutions, also schools, but the big volume and the feedback has enormously developed the audience engagement methods and practice, and also I see that cooperation between art institutions has strengthened. And the quality and level of audience engagement varies quite a lot in Finland, and also among different art forms. Like we can acknowledge that very often, for example, art museums are quite high in audience engagement, and some other art forms may not be. So this has been a wonderful cooperation and learning point that art institutions have been able to learn from each other and steal the best practices and try maybe new things in this project. We have valued a lot the experimenting. In the proposals, when the art institutions apply for the campaign, we let them try. They can fail. The result can be that, okay, this doesn't work with 8th graders. But this has been a kind of a development project in that sense, that each participant have been able to try their different methods. I think it's rather a question of attitude than a resource. Now you can throw the tomatoes. We all know that resources in arts it's really a problem in many art forms, and in art education, in art institutions, in every level we realize that we need more resources. But I think that we need one person in art institution who can a little bit turn the practices for more suitable to young people. It really needs a person who can, and I prefer that person should have some art pedagogical professional capacity. So it's really it's very good thing if you can have cooperation with art pedagogies, with the art institutions, if you don't have a person responsible for the audience engagement. So it's really possible, like in the Jyväskylä case, they work together with the Faculty of Education. That's very a simple thing. I think that quite many are able to start this kind of learning process with different participants. Then at the end I will shortly give you an insight for our interesting research field. At the moment we have 3 academic research going on art testers. We are very keen, looking forward for hearing the results, because we want to develop the model and the concept. And one of the most interesting research is about the cooperation between schools and art institutions. We are really looking forward to hearing about that. These research have had joint data collecting and collegial support. We are looking forward for the results at the end of this year or in the autumn, next autumn.